Today's video, we are celebrating a big number, 300 plus subs. And this is something that I wanted to put in a video, not just to celebrate that I have over 300 subscribers, which I am so excited about, by the way, but I want to relate it to the big topics that I constantly talk about, show you that what I teach and what I do can be pulled out of any business. Now, first, let me start off. YouTube is not my business. Well, I guess kind of a business, right? It really is a business in a sense that I am watching the numbers very, very diligently. So I guess you could say it's a business, but it's not the business that I'm mainly focused on. YouTube is something that I see as my partner, my collaboration tool. It's always out there finding people for me. It's always out there nurturing people for me. So my journey to 300 has been rough. It has just kind of exploded over the past month and a half. So I'm going to talk to you about all the stuff that I struggled with. And then I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I realized over this last year of really being consistent in YouTube, the last 2 years of really struggling to get my YouTube going and taking it where I feel it needs to be. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to tell you how that relates to the 3 big things I always talk about and how important that the 3 concepts that I always talk about fit into everything and anything you're doing, which is super cool. So let's start with the story. This is my journey on YouTube. I started on YouTube July 2017, which is mind-blowing to me because I haven't really done much with it. And I'm sitting here looking at my stats. I don't even remember 2017 what I was doing. And I hired a guy on Upwork who said that he could help me get a YouTube strategy in place. Here's a key lesson, by the way, right off the top that I have learned over and over again. And please, I wish someone could slap me sometimes before I'd have to learn this lesson. I hire people who can help me scale before I'm ready to scale. Ooh, do you do that one too? Really? I am struggling with that because that is my common thread. I think I'm somewhere, I hire them, I'm not ready. So I hired this guy to get me built out a YouTube strategy. The problem was I didn't know what I wanted to do or how to build it out. And so he was trying to help me and I paid the guy a lot of money. Basically, I told him just keep the money. I'll have to come back to it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So long story short, I still didn't know what to do with it. Then it came a journey of just kind of fumbling through YouTube. What do I want to talk about? What do I want to do? Here's another good lesson for you. Don't procrastinate. It's better to just try stuff and see what lands versus doing what I did for so many years where I said, I don't know what I want, so I'm not going to do anything at all. Instead of just being, well, why don't I try this? Now, let's go into Mr. Beast. I have studied his channel, go all the way back. He started with just gaming, and then he started with playing around with thumbnails because that's probably when thumbnails started to come out. And then he was trying to get people to watch his gaming through his thumbnails. Then you kind of watch, and then it starts evolving to videos where he's talking to screen, head on camera, where he's talking about, hey, I didn't want to play anything today. I had to make a video. I didn't want to edit it. So I'm just going to talk to you guys. And here's what I think. So we all fumble through, but Mr. Beast actually took the time to fumble a lot, to learn, to gather information, to figure out what was working. And you kind of start seeing when he starts getting into the games and he starts getting into the hey, I'll give this away if you could do this kind of thing. Just like if you're watching and you know what this is, put it in the comment and who this is. Only a select few will know this. My dad saw me drinking from this mug and he was, what is that? I had to tell him. So if you know what it is, put it in the comments. But Mr. Beast did a lot of that and he put some really cool things, but just watch his journey. Mine was a whole lot of trying and being afraid and then not doing it. So fast forward about 2 years ago, started out being here online. Online type coach, even though I've been coaching for 6 years already, 2 of them count for this online, 4 have just been offline. People came to me, heard me at an event, wanted to coach with me one-on-one. At the time, I really focused with real estate agents, not necessarily just entrepreneurs. And so when I started 2 years ago, really trying to get focused on YouTube, I'm going to make 2 to 3 videos a week. I'm going to get them on YouTube. I'm going to make this is some advice that I got. I could commingle my real estate agents that I was trying to attract and my buyers and sellers I was trying to attract through the same kind of content. So if I go up there and I do a home, they're going to see me because I'm touring a home. They're, oh, I want to learn how she's doing that. So they're going to kind of cross-pollinate. The problem was I had some coaching videos on there, and then I had some tour of home videos on there. And the algorithm was, what is she doing? Now, if you were my kids, they would say 6, 7 right now. Yes, I did say that. I have 4 kids and it drives me bonkers, but here I am doing it. And so the algorithm did not know what I was doing, and it wasn't working. And I was getting some really good hits on this and hits on that, but I was making all sorts of different content. And the one content that got the best hit was actually a haunted house in my neighborhood. They let me do an open house kind of tour with it. And so I did that as a funny thing. Hey, I'm touring the haunted house, just like I tour every other house. And it got huge views and it did really good. But then people expected more of that content, but that's not my content. So the journey was a little tough. I had to really figure it out. I took a pause for a while. And then exactly 1 year ago, I decided I'm going to be consistent on YouTube. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I don't need to do 2 or 3 videos because I burnt out halfway through my first year in all of this. I stopped. I was done. This is exhausting. I don't want to do it. So then at the beginning of this year, I started up again. I said, I'm going to be consistent no matter what. I am going to do my podcast, which I do every Monday. At that time, I was only doing audio, which would be on YouTube as well. And then I would do 1 YouTube video. Now that I really chose to be consistent, really paid off, but I was having someone else edit. I was getting some growth in my subscriber count and video views were still low. Do you want to know when the biggest growth actually happened? When I let go of my editing team. Can you believe that? It wasn't just that. A couple things happened. I hired a different YouTube coach through vidIQ. I do love them. I use their services. And so I decided to get the coach. And we've been working on little things. And it's hard because it's in the rear, which means I've already made the video. I've already done everything. And then they come back if I'm struggling or I don't like it, or they'll critique it and say, hey, you could do this better or that better. So I'm just learning as I go because I don't have time to pre-plan everything since I'm still trying to figure everything out, that I'm making videos on the fly. Remember, YouTube is not my business. It is an element or collaboration that I use to make my business work. There's 3 items. Your niche's clarity, the compounding effect of the ecosystem, and leveraging favorites for income jumps. This is where I'm gonna show you how you can pull out the elements of the business concepts I always talk about. I started really seeing the jumps in the last month. In the last 28 days, I have gained more than 27 subscribers, which is phenomenal because I will tell you there were months where I would stay the same or I lost some. My watch hours have gone up. My views have gone up. All of it in the last month have gone up. And I think it's really because 1, I hired a coach from vidIQ. 2 is because I am refining like a madwoman. I am looking at my titles, and if within the first 24 hours I'm not getting at least 5 or 6 views, I'm changing them. I'm looking at the thumbnails. If I'm not getting 5 or 6 views, I change it. If I see momentum picking up, I leave it. If it's starting to drag, I change it. I am trying to really take this as a, how can I refine? So I want to talk about the 3 things that I really learned and that could be applied to any business that you have. The first one, niche clarity. Stop guessing and start knowing. This one is actually a big one because everybody talks about finding your niche. Yes, I know. The funny thing is, I know my niche, but I don't know my niche. How crazy is that? I was teaching when I had my one-to-one clients. I talked about branding, niching, ICAs, all of that. I know this really well. And I sat here saying, oh, I know my ICA so well. But you don't, because once you start making the videos, you think they want to hear this. And then you put it out there and you get 5 views. I have a topic where I said why ambition makes you lonely. Honestly, I didn't think it would do that well. It's a cool topic. I want to talk about it. I don't think it's going to do well. That got me 34 views. Now, a lot of my view counts are low right now because I only have, like I said, 300 subscribers, and thank you for watching me. So I didn't expect that to do so well. The funny thing is, if you have a business and you really want to take your business to the next level, you need to have a YouTube channel. Does that not sound crazy? It's not just getting the content out. It is not just finding your people. It is that you are practicing your niche clarity nonstop. I do 2 videos now a week. I take my podcast and I record it as a video. I put it as audio on podcast channels, and then on YouTube, I keep it as a video. So I'm doing 2 a week. I am watching those numbers. It's important to make sure that you're doing this. So if you have a YouTube, use your YouTube as a creative way to really hone in onto your niche. The second thing about this one is this is how you find your people. By refining your messaging, the content that you are creating, what you're talking about day in and day out, you go to the Haystacks and you find your needles and put them in one place. You're actually finding those needles and putting them together. My 300 subscribers, maybe not all of them, because some of them might be real estate people or real estate clients or people who viewed some of my walkthroughs on the homes. Some have left and they've unsubscribed, and that's okay too. So if I look at my analytics, just 1 year, because that's how I've been consistent on YouTube, is 1 year. When I say consistent, I mean consistent. In 1 year, I have picked up over 199 subscribers. That's 193% more than the previous year. My watch time has gone up by 155%. And the crazy thing is my views have gone up more than 1,000%. Is that not funny? That's crazy. But that just shows you that understanding who your people are and having that clarity, understanding that I want to move my people from all these haystacks, finding them, I'm slowly collecting them in a pile and say, you're one of my needles. I'm going to put you in the pile because you belong here with me. You like my content. You're eager to learn about ecosystems, eco stacking, income jumps, all this stuff I'm talking about. So when you're niching and you're getting your niche clarity, it's not just saying, I know my people are women who are entrepreneurs, who have a business, who have consistent sales. That's great. And I know most of them are in their 30s. They can go up to their 50s. They do have children. I can get pretty deep, but you can make your story, but you don't know anything until you put it out there and start watching what happens. And this is what I love about really getting that niche clarity, because understanding who your people truly, truly are, this is a concept that you must have in ecosystem stacking. It's a concept you must have in income jumping. It's the fundamentals of any kind of growth you want in your business. Fundamentals. This is the coolest, fastest way to actually make that happen, which I think is really neat. So finding your niche, getting that niche clarity. Stop guessing and start knowing through the discovery phase of the YouTube channel. Number 2, compounding effort for the ecosystem that breathes. This one is a huge one. I talk about compounding effort all the time. Everything I've learned since 2017 of starting this YouTube channel compounded into this moment. There are things that I had to fail at to learn at, if that makes sense. I learned you cannot do competing topics. Don't talk to your coaching clients and to consumers. You can't do both on a channel. The algorithm gets confused. You want to speak to the algorithm. You want to understand what the transformation is. So what I'm trying to do now when I make my videos is right at the get-go is tell you the transformation. Like, you're going to watch this video, you're going to hear about how I made it to 300 subscribers and the 3 lessons that I learned that you can apply to any business. That's the transformation. And so you have to be able to get this clarity as you're going. But I had to learn all this to get here. It doesn't just happen. So compounding effect is something that I correlate to ecosystem building. When you start using compound effect of the ecosystem, you start learning this, you start realizing, how can I make some of this more efficient? How can I take the process and make it simplified, make it breathe, make it comfortable for me? This is how I have streamlined editing my own content over the last month and a half, where I'm down to just a few hours for a 1-hour podcast, because every day I'm doing it, I have a compounding effort, I have compounding results, and I'm learning faster. What I'm also doing here, when you talk about ecosystems, an ecosystem is building something inside of something that can live on its own. YouTube is built that if you came to me in 10 years, you would learn the same path that everyone else did. You will still see the House of Cortesa. You'll still see the experience live in Nashville. You'll still see all these things, but you're coming at your journey when your journey starts. YouTube is one of those that it lives forever So as I'm building this ecosystem that's going to be breathing for me, you might go check out 4 more of my other videos. You might say, I don't like what she talks about. It's not really worth it. And you may travel along on your way, but then you might find me again. And that's what I've done to so many people where I said, I don't like what they're talking about. And then a few years later, I sit down and watch 5 of their videos. And then I like their content. And when you're ready, you'll find me and we belong. And that's the cool thing about it. So we want to make sure that when we're looking at what we're building here, we're not just building in the moment, we're building an ecosystem that can live on its own. Yes, you can monetize. Yes, all the other cool stuff, but YouTube is something rare. Somebody can visit back on your old videos so long ago, like Mr. Beast 13 years ago. I can go look at his videos 13 years ago. To watch his journey, I thought that was really cool. So when you're building a business, you need to really think about what is that path that you have for people to come in. Is it always this constant launching where you have to be live and showing up and finding people? That's a lot of work. YouTube, I create it once, it lives forever. So look at an opportunity where you're creating something once and lives forever. That makes such a difference when you're looking at the compounding effort and results, and you want an ecosystem that breathes. Number 3, leveraging favorites for income jumping. This is my optimization and scaling phase. All right, this sounds weird, but I look at everything as income jumps in a way. In YouTube, my subs that I'm collecting is my income. Even though I'm not monetized, even though I'm not making $1, I say for every sub that I get, I'm one step closer to filling up the house of Cortesa. I'm one step closer to filling up the seats of the experience live in Nashville. It's looking at it that way as an income jump, not necessarily $1 in my hand. When you're doing income jumping, we have to find a bigger problem to solve. In the case of YouTube, we are refining the problem that we are solving. In the first one, we talk about and really getting that niche clarity, finding that problem, that transformation, getting more clear on it. And then we can pull out the elements. So when I search, just even on my regular page, the most popular ones. And then you can see when some people's channels are changing, their followers and subscribers are changing a little bit because their most popular ones are videos that were 3, 4, 5 years ago, but not their newest videos. It should be that your newest videos should be your most popular videos because that means you're getting better, you're refining, you really look at the content your people want. That's what I talk about with income jumping, where you want to refine it and you want to go to the next level and you want to change it. You're in that change process. We look at the 3 or 4 key things in your business that is going well, always working. We pull just those few out, put them in a pseudo new business, I call it, and then we just focus on that 3 or 4 things. So what I do is I look at my analytics. I look at all the information and I say, what are the 3 or 4 big things? So take an example. This video I made, it says the 3 systems that 5x income and save me 45 plus hours every week. I made this last week and I took this video and I said, I wonder if it's going to do good. I'm going to talk about my 3 systems that really do 5x your income. And it's actually off of a video called Shift to 15-Hour Work Week While Still Making 6 Figures. I did that 1 year ago and it had 98 views. Now, I took elements of that and I talked about a 15-hour work week. Now, it only got 27 views. It didn't do as well, but I'm taking elements from my popular videos and I'm trying to recreate them in a new way in different videos to apply to what I'm actually talking about now. So you see now that you need to have these 3 elements in any business. Finding your needles and putting them together and making sure you're talking exactly to your right people. Only way to do that is by really honing in with the clarity, practicing, failing, trying, looking at the numbers. That really matters. The compounding effect for ecosystems that breathe, really streamlining your systems, really understanding the compounding effect and results, all of that, looking at how everything is growing, building something that's going to last, having a journey for people who come and find you later on to take to get to you. That's important. And the last one is leveraging favorites for income jumps. And that's really looking at what the numbers are telling you on the screen and trying to take elements from your old popular videos and making them into your newer videos, taking different key elements. These are 3 things that apply to every business, no matter what it is, not just YouTube. When I really focused on these 3 key things, it was really fascinating because my YouTube started taking off. I'm excited to see what will happen. Now, if you look back at my YouTube a little bit, I couldn't figure out my format and I was just not enjoying it. I was really struggling. And so I had talking head for a while. They weren't getting a ton of views. So then I went and said, oh, I'm going to do it. Is it worth it format, which you'll see on here, where I'm talking about shoes. I'm talking about software, systems, electrolytes. I was trying. My highest view video is where I'm actually talking about my shoes. The funny thing is that video got 402 views. Here is what, so it's called I Tried Prolova's Barefoot Shoes for 30 Days, Worth It or Hype. I loved making that video. It was fun. I love those shoes to death. What I realized is I'm not getting my kind of people. By making videos that were not specific to what I'm creating, what I'm doing, I'm actually collecting, right, that ecosystem. I'm collecting people who are expecting me to show more about running shoes, show more about maybe other products, other things, but that's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm selling. That's not what I'm doing. And so when I created those videos, I was trying to get views and I didn't realize the views are only a part of it. I have to get the right views, the right people into the ecosystem, or else the ecosystem breaks. It needs to be self-sustaining ecosystem that pulls them into the next elements. And so it's better off to have videos that you love to talk about, have 10 people watch them who love them versus having 400 people watch it where they're not going to ever buy anything from me. They're never going to come into my other ecosystems. They're never going to grow with me. They want to learn about shoes or running or other aspects that I'm not really talking about. So I want you to understand 300 is awesome. I'm not done here. I'm going to keep growing my YouTube channel because I see it as a collaboration. I see it as a partner who's going to help me to keep growing and expanding. And it's going to take everything that I'm doing to the next level. And it's there for me forever. It's my ecosystem. It's where I could put all of my needles together without the haystacks. It's all about finding you and the people who love this. And someone might be coming on in 10 years and finding me. And that's okay. That's what I want. I don't expect to have hundreds of thousands of views when I'm just starting to be discovered. So thank you for listening today. Thank you for celebrating 300 subscribers with me today. It's a huge milestone. I'm very excited about it. I'll probably pop back on when I'm at 500 because I think that is a huge number as well. The cool thing is I think I'm going to be at 500 faster than I thought because I'm almost getting 2 people almost every day now. So let's see where it goes. Thank you again for joining me.